All right, everyone. Hello and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller. I'm one of the yoga instructors here for Yoga for Caregivers. This is our weekly stretch session where we focus on getting into our bodies, stretching ourselves out, getting us ready for the rest of the day and the rest of our week. So as we move through practice today, keep in mind your boundaries. Notice, where are you ready to extend into postures? Where do you need to modify and come down to the mat? Or perhaps find a center posture. Also, keep in mind, I don't often cue water. So, if and when you feel thirsty, of course, please feel free to step off your mat, grab that drink, and then join us whenever you feel ready. So, when you're ready, let's go ahead and find a comfortable position here. Your legs can be crossed or they can be straight out in front of you. You can be up on a prop like a block. That's what I'm sitting on, or simply down on your mat. We're going to wiggle back and forth as we root into our sits bones, and then we'll sit up nice and tall. Let's inhale as we draw our shoulders forward and up, and then exhale as we drop them back and down. One more time. Inhale, shoulders come forward and up. Exhale as they drop back and down. Good. Find a comfortable position for your hands, whether on your knees, palms up or down, or in your lap. Gently close the eyes if you'd like, or just find an unmoving point and soften your gaze here today. This year, inspiration for our classes is drawn from the Native American medicine wheel based on Sun Bear's vision. The medicine wheel teaches us about movement and change and offers us insight that will help us learn and grow. The brown bear is an apt symbol for this time of year. Though the bear is curious, it is also careful. We can be the same. We can be open and welcome our experiences as they are, but also be discerning about how we utilize our energy. Now is the time to operate from a place of courage, strength, practicality, and fairness, all qualities required for being discerning. Living from this place allows us to stay in the flow of life. As you move through practice, see if you can cultivate these qualities: courage, strength, practicality, and fairness. Bring them into your body as a felt sense as you move through the postures. So, settling in, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling the belly, lungs, chest with air. And then slowly exhale that breath back out. Take another deep inhale, fill the belly, lungs, and chest with air. And then slowly exhale that breath back out. Take another deep inhale, feel your belly expanding outward like a big balloon. And then exhale that breath out, draw the belly button in toward the spine. Inhale as you feel the torso expand, the collarbones gently lift. Exhale as you feel your shoulders release down and away from your ears. Inhale, bringing air in your nose, down your throat, filling your lungs. And then exhale as you squeeze that air out of the body, move it up the throat and out your nose. Continue to breathe deeply, inhaling and exhaling with intention. Really noticing the movements of the breath here, being curious about that flow of inhale and exhale, that flow of energy. Now, if you find that your mind starts to wander off, if it gets distracted by thoughts or noises, that's okay. Simply draw the attention back to the breath, back to focusing on the inhales and exhales. If it makes sense for you, perhaps reincorporating this mantra to help you stay grounded and focused here. Inhale, I am. Exhale, curious. Inhale, I am. Exhale, curious. Remaining here with the breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments here today. Take another deep inhale here, setting an intention or a purpose for your practice, which really can be anything at all, but it often answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a nice deep inhale, feel that intention with your heart and mind. Exhale the breath out, set the intention off to the side, knowing we'll return to it toward the end of our practice. Lovely. If you're sitting on a prop, we're going to go ahead and move that off to the side here, coming into that comfortable seat on the mat. And then inhale, sweep your arms wide, bring them up overhead, cast the gaze skyward. Exhale, twist over to the left, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind your body, curve your head around into a seated twist. Inhale, return to center, the arms come tall. Exhale, twisting over to the right, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the body, curving your head around into a seated twist. Inhale, returning to center, arms come tall. Exhale, twisting over to the right again, or to the left, sorry. Inhale, back into center, reaching tall. Exhale to the right for real this time. Long spine, shoulders down. Inhale, back into center. Exhale, twisting over to the left, curving that nose around, bringing that twist into your upper spine. Inhaling into center. Exhale, twisting over to the right, curving that nose around. Good. Inhale, come back into center, arms come tall. Exhale, drop those hands down to the mat, roll over the knees or kick the feet out to the side, come into a tabletop position. So your hands come beneath the shoulders, the knees come beneath the hips, and the tops of the feet are going to be on the floor. Let's inhale as we sink our bellies, lift our head and our hips coming into cow. Exhale, lift the back, sink the head and the hips coming into cat. Inhale into cow, sink the belly, look up toward the sky. Exhale into cat, press the mat away, feel the shoulder blades separate. Inhale into cow, feel that decompression, the low spine. Exhale into cat, feel the chest and the pelvis move toward one another. Good. And then inhale, let's return to neutral. Nice work. On the next inhale, tuck the toes. On the exhale, lift the hips right into a down dog. Now, this may be the first down dog of your day or week. So let's go ahead and walk our dog, bending one knee and then the other, opening up the backs of the legs here. Taking a nice deep inhale as you do. Nice deep exhale. A nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. Coming into stillness here, let's take another deep breath. Shoulders shrug down, press the chest toward the thighs. Feel the hips reach toward the floor as the heels reach toward the floor. Feel that pull through the hamstrings here. Another deep breath here, inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale, look up between the hands. Let's baby step those feet to the top of the mat. Come right into a halfway lift. So your knees are slightly bent, your torso is parallel with the floor, back is flat, shoulders are shrugged down. Now your hands can be on your thighs or your shins, gaze is toward the floor. Let's take a nice deep inhale here. And then exhale, sink into a forward fold, tuck your chin, look between your legs. Now allow your arms to hang limp. You can palm the mat. You can bring pinkies to either crooks of the elbows. Or if you'd like to open up the shoulders here, we're going to inhale, sweep those hands around behind you, interlace the fingers. Now, they can just rest right here on the back. Or inhale, lift those arms as far up off the back as you are able. This is a really nice shoulder opener, heart center opener. So notice what is available to your body here, taking that position. Breathing deeply, allowing the crown of the head to reach down toward the floor, leaning forward slightly onto the front 2/3 of the feet. Full body stretch, nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. Another deep inhale. Exhale, hands come down to either side of your body here. Bending your knees on the next inhale, flatten the back. Let's reverse swan dive. Let's sweep our arms wide and up. And then exhale our hands into heart center. Nice work. So make sure your feet are about hip width distance apart here. Knees are slightly bent. We're going to inhale, sweep our left arm tall, and then exhale, lean over to the left as you reach through, or right, lean over to the right as you reach those left fingers, coming into a standing side body stretch. So right hand just slides down the right leg. We're reaching through those fingers, feeling that pull through the side body here. Knees are slightly bent, hips are tucked here gently. Core is engaged. We're opening up those side muscles. Nice. Nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. Great work. Inhale, let's come back into center. Drop the left arm down. Exhale, go ahead, bring that right arm up. Lean right over to the left, standing side bend, opposite side. So again, knees are slightly bent. Left hand just slides down that left leg. Root through that right heel so you feel that pull through the entire right side of the body, reaching through those fingers. Hips are slightly tucked. Let's breathe. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Nice work. Inhale, let's come back into center. And then exhale that breath out. Nice job. We're going to inhale, sweep our arms wide and up overhead. And then exhale, swan dive down into a forward fold, knees slightly bent. Inhale, right into a halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back into a tabletop position here. Nice work. So I'm going to angle slightly. Hands beneath shoulders, knees beneath the hips. We're going to start by picking up that left heel, extending it straight out behind us, bringing the ball of the foot down to the mat. We're going to press into the hands, spiking that heel away from the body, coming into a nice calf stretch here. Couple things to note. Notice if that left hip wants to kind of float up toward the sky. If it does, square the hip with the floor so you're really feeling that stretch through the calf. Shrug the shoulders down, keep the core engaged, and notice if you have a U back or a cow back here, go ahead, flatten that back out, look down toward the mat, long spine, breathing. Good. Inhale, take that left leg, sweep it out to the 45-degree position like you're on a clock here. So straight out to your left side, and then leave that left leg where it is. Exhale, bring your hips back onto your right heel like you're going into a child's pose, but this left leg is extended. Arms come extended out. Move that forehead down to the floor, even if it doesn't touch. So now we're getting a nice deep stretch through the inside of our left leg, maybe the outside of the leg as well, just depending on how tight this ankle space is here and into the foot. So wherever you are, soft shoulders, soft face. Let's take a couple of deep breaths here together. Nice work. Inhale, come on up onto your hands and knees. Let's go ahead and bring that left foot up between the hands. You may want to grab your blocks or a block or be by a steady chair or a sofa here. And then we're going to come onto our right knee. We're going to bring that left foot so it's out at a bit of an angle. We want to be able to see our shin from this position. I have my blocks on the high side in my hands. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, dropping down into a low lunge here. So I'm putting those blocks beneath my shoulders, using them for support to help me open up here at my pace, not gravity's pace. Check in, make sure your knee and your ankle are in line with one another. So you're really protecting that knee joint here. We're feeling a nice deep stretch in the right hip flexor. So let's take a couple deep breaths here together. Nice work. Inhale, shift your weight onto that back knee here. Go ahead, move your blocks out of the way. Bring your hands down to the inside of that left foot. Sink the hips back down. Now, take that foot, heel toe it to the left, to that outer edge of the mat. We're trying to open up our stance slightly. Welcome to lizard. So, a couple options here. You can stay right here. We're going for a stretch in our left hip. If you'd like, you can roll this foot onto the outside edge. For some people, that feels great, and for others, it does not. You're welcome to stay on your hands. You can also use a block to come down onto your forearms. You can also come straight down onto your mat on your forearms. Notice what feels right for you. And let's take a couple deep breaths here. Shoulders soft, face soft, breathing. And then inhale, go ahead. Let's step ourselves back up onto our hands. Plant the hands on the mat and then extend that left leg straight out behind you. Move that leg around in a couple circles in one direction. Yep. And then in the other, just getting a little bit of blood flow back into that leg, back into that joint. Good. And then come back into center here. We're going to switch sides. I'm going to move sides so we continue to face one another. So hands beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips. Go ahead, pluck up that right heel. And then on the exhale, extend that foot straight out behind you. Ball of the foot comes down to the floor. Press into the hands, spike that heel away from the body. So we're immediately feeling a nice stretch in the calf. So notice that tendency of that right hip to float up toward the sky. See if you can square the hip with the mat here. That's going to deepen the stretch through the calf. Elbows are slightly bent. It's so tempting to lock them out, but see if you can work those bicep tricep muscles here. Check in. Do you have a U back like I do right now? If you do, engage the core and flatten the back. That means tucking the tailbone slightly. Again, that's going to intensify that stretch through the calf. Soft face, soft shoulders. Let's breathe here. All right. Inhale, sweep that right leg out to the 15 position, like you're on a clock, or just straight out to the right from you. On the next exhale, sink your hips back onto your left heel. Elongate the arms, forehead comes down toward the floor. It does not have to touch. So now we're getting that nice deep stretch to the inside of our right leg, maybe outside of the right leg here, in through the foot, in through the outside. So notice where you're feeling the stretch here. It might be different from side to side. Soft shoulders, soft face, taking a few deep breaths here. All right. Inhale, come on up onto the hands and knee. Go ahead, sweep that right foot up between the hands. Grab your props if you're using them, come up into neutral. So once again, we want to make sure that that right foot is out at a bit of an angle. We want to be able to see our shin from this position. I've got my hands around my blocks on the high side. We take a deep inhale as we lengthen through the spine. Exhale as we hinge at the hips and drop down onto the mat here. I'm dropping those blocks down beneath the shoulders. I'm pressing into them so gravity doesn't take me deeper into the posture than I'm ready. I invite you to do the same. As you come into the posture, check in, make sure knee and ankle are in line with one another. Good. Sinking the hips down, feeling that opening through that left hip flexor. Couple deep breaths here. All right, inhale, let's go ahead. Move those props out of the way. Bring your hands down to the mat to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe that foot to the outside edge of your mat. It's going to be a couple inches to your right. Welcome into lizard on this opposite side. So you may want to stay right here. That's totally fine. We're going for a stretch in the right hip. If you'd like, that sole of the foot can roll onto its outside edge. Some people love it, others do not. You can stay on the hands or lower down onto the forearms. If that's accessible, you can use a block or another prop, or just come straight down onto the mat. I invite you to notice what feels right for you. Let's take a couple of deep breaths here together today. All right. Inhale, come on up onto your hands once again. We're going to sweep that right leg straight out behind us. Move that leg around in a couple circles in one direction. Good. And then in the other. Before dropping that knee down to the mat. Good. Take a deep inhale here. And then exhale, let's just sink into a little child's pose here. Heels onto, or hips onto heels. Elongate the arms. Forehead comes down to the floor. If the forehead doesn't reach the floor, you can stack the forearms or the fists or use a prop like a block or a pillow. So as you rest down here, just taking a few moments to check in with the body, notice what's present. Really feeling into the body in this moment, noticing how it's feeling after all of these postures that we've done, all of these stretches. Can't get my verbs right today. Let's take one more nice deep inhale as you feel your torso expand against your thighs. Exhale, release that breath. And then inhale, come on up onto your hands and knees. Nice. We're actually going to make our way onto our back. So if you need to grab a drink of water, towel off, put on socks or a jacket, now is the moment. We will not sit up before the end of final relaxation. Okay? So coming down onto your back when you feel ready. It's gonna go ahead and tuck the knees into the chest, wrap your arms around your knees. Giving yourself a little hug, maybe a little rock from side to side, roly-poly action here. But you can stay in stillness if that feels better for you, of course. Lovely. And then coming into a stillness position, we're going to go ahead, drop the soles of the feet down to the floor, and get ready for final relaxation. So our knees, a couple options here. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Couple options here. You can remain right here for final relaxation. A lot of people prefer this. And if you have any low back pain, this is a great option. You can always take blocks and place them under the knees as well and extend your feet out more for that extra support. If you'd like, knees can fall open wide, soles of the feet can come together for reclined bound angle. This is a great option. Another option is to extend one leg and keep the other sole of the foot in for fallen tree. You can extend both legs out, being careful of your props for traditional final relaxation. Find a space that feels good for the arms, whatever you prefer here. Notice and be curious about what the body needs. If you'd like, you can also just lay on your side or on your belly. And then you're always welcome to come back into a seated position if you prefer. Really, it's whatever position will allow you to feel at ease and just to settle in and take a moment to just rest for this final part of practice. And as you settle in, I invite you to tune into the breath. Begin to notice how fast or slow your breath has become, how deep or shallow. Notice the quality of each breath on your inhales, the quality of each breath on your exhales. Feeling into the gentle rise and fall of your belly, the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Noticing that air as it moves in and out of your nose, up and down your throat. Tuning in, being curious to the breath here, curious to how it moves through the body, how it feels when it moves through the body. Now, if the mind wanders off, it gets distracted by thoughts, noises, physical sensations, it's okay. Notice the moment that you've gone away, and then see if you can come back to the breath, back to the inhales and the exhales. If it feels right for you, perhaps bringing back to mind that mantra we used at the beginning of our practice. Inhale, I am. Exhale, curious. Inhale, I am. Exhale, curious. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments here today. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of practice so you can have it to yourself. Please know I'm watching the time and I most certainly respect yours, and I will let you out of this posture before the end of our practice. So feel free to lean back, let go, just be curious about how you are resting here right now. In daily life, we are often carried away by our feelings, perceptions, and thoughts. We are seldom free. It is so important to be able to come home to ourselves and to cease being the victim of our circumstances. Coming back to ourself with our in-breath and our out-breath is the basic practice of peace. Bringing your awareness back to this space, taking a deep inhale through your nose, filling your belly, lungs, and chest with air, before slowly exhaling that breath back out. Take another deep inhale as you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Move your arms and legs, gently waking your body up. When it feels right for you, rolling onto one side, pausing there with an arm or a hand beneath your head. It's here that I invite you to bring back to mind your intention or your purpose that you set at the beginning of your practice that answered the question, why did I get on my mat? Take another deep inhale as you make your way on up into a seated position, and we close out our practice together today. So finding our comfortable seat, rooting into the sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, the shoulders come forward and up. Exhale, drop them back and down. Hands into a comfortable position, whether on the knees, in the lap, or at heart center. Closing the eyes if you'd like. We take a moment to express gratitude for yet another lovely day here on earth, for our bodies allow us to do so many things, including yoga. Thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this weekly stretch session with Yoga for Caregivers. Again, my name is Alexis Miller. You can find me here every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern. So mark your calendars, set your alarms. Make sure to follow Yoga for Caregivers on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn so you can keep up to date with everything we've got going on and for all the offerings that are available from volunteers like me. So, thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I look forward to practicing with you next time. Bye.